What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm going to stall for 15 seconds till people get into the live stream, and then I'm going to begin because a bombshell was dropped yesterday and I want to get the word out there. Just to let everybody know too, my Twitter is Legendary Energy at Twitter, at Legendary Energy. My Instagram is at Dream Rare, and I just got the iPhone 7, so this is a better camera. Let me know if the quality is better. It should be better from here on out on all my videos. Should be very, very high quality. So we're moving on up in the world. Thank you guys so much for your support. A bombshell was dropped yesterday by James O'Keefe from Project Veritas, and he did some very, very incredible work earlier this year during the election, which was totally undercovered. To me, in my opinion, it was the biggest bombshell of the entire election, as they were talking about grab one by the pussy. That's all they talked about. To me, that's not that big of a bombshell. But what James O'Keefe found during the election was that Democratic Party operatives were literally paying mentally ill people to go to Trump rallies to start violence so that they could film it and be like, look, Trump supporters are violent. So they're paying mentally ill people to start violence at Trump rallies. This happened. Project Veritas, James O'Keefe found this out during this election, but of course, MSNBC, fake news, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times, all of the ones that Trump calls out, whether you like him or not, he's totally telling the truth. They lied about Bernie Sanders. They lied about Donald Trump. They don't tell you things like, hey, Democratic Party operatives are paying mentally ill homeless people to start violence. How is that not the breaking huge story? It's because they're all fake news and propagandist liars. Anyway, so James O'Keefe yesterday released a bombshell. This is massive. It should be on all news. If this was even 1/50th of as big of a bombshell and it was in the direction against President Trump, it would be everywhere. It would be on CNN, NBC, Washington Post, New York Times. They'd have fake stories about it. They'd have real stories about it. But of course, I don't see it anywhere except for Twitter and among conservative outlets. Unfortunately, hopefully progressive outlets show it too, but James O'Keefe from Project Veritas released video footage, clear video footage, and part of it was audio, part of it was clear video, so it's not debatable. It's literally the supervising producer for CNN admitting that their whole Russia coverage is pretty much bullshit. He goes into very, very detail about why it's bullshit. He says essentially the same things I've been saying all year, because unlike most news sources, I do a really good job, or I do my best job, to get the truth to you, whether it's conservative or progressive. I want the truth. I want the environment saved. I want real social justice and equality. I want prosperity. I want freedom. I want the truth. Other news sources, they're supervising producers. When they think the cameras are off, they're telling their interns, because James O'Keefe, you know, he does investigative journalists, very dangerous, very, very hard stuff. He has people go undercover and talk to these people just at restaurants, and this one was in the elevator. And the supervising producer from CNN said to the camera, it's on camera footage, it's not debatable, it's not a memo, it's not some fake news story that Washington Post created, it's clear-cut evidence. The supervising producer from CNN saying, our whole Russia coverage is complete bullshit. He says it's bullshit. He says we're doing it for the money. We're doing it for the ratings. I've said that for a year, because no offense if you've believed the Russia conspiracy for thus long and all of this BS Russia news. I mean, no offense, but if you have even a shred of knowledge about what's going on in the world, what's previously happened, what people have done with Russia, what the United States has done with Russia, what we've done to other countries, what elections we've meddled in, who we've been spying on, how the world works, then you've already known the Russia narrative that the news has been pushing is 100% completely biased, slanted, and in most cases, complete bullshit. Now you don't need me to tell it. You don't need to yell at me, anomaly, you're so this, you're so that. Who paid you, Donald Trump or the Kremlin propaganda? No. You think they paid me because you've been getting lied to all year. Now you have the supervising producers from CNN literally telling you, it's all bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. It's for ratings. Hillary lost the game. She didn't know how to play. That's how arrogant these people were. Donald Trump made an effort to do rallies, to connect with people, to do interviews, to connect to the core of the American people. Whether you agree with his policies or not, he made an effort to reach people. If it was you, great. If it wasn't, great. The other side, their whole plan, their whole tactic the entire time was just pure propaganda. They're like, people aren't even people. They don't have souls and jobs and, families or anything. We're just going to lie to them. Literally, you can't make this stuff up. It's 100% confirmed. It's not a conspiracy. It's not my theory. It's out there for you to realize, but some people just block out reality. Anyway, they purposely elevated Trump because they thought he was an easy target. So they blasted him in the news, made fun of him, elevated him. 100% confirmed. It's not my opinion. They did this. They elevated Trump. They cheated Bernie Sanders. And then they thought they were just going to win the election. And they didn't, because Trump connected with people and they made no effort to connect with people. Before this election, it was the battle of two evils. Here's Obama, here's McCain. Same thing. They're just, two different heads to the same snake. And that's how they did it. They just pretty much blasted everybody with propaganda until everybody's hopes were down. Like, you know what? We don't even have a chance. And, in the 2000 election between Bush and Gore, it's like something didn't go their way. They're like, hey, we're going to recount, but only in Florida. How does that make sense? That seems pretty like a rigged election. In 2008, they gave us Obama. Here's hope and change and love. And, everybody, including a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump, said, yeah, let's vote for this guy. He's new, he's fresh, maybe he's outsider. But we've been getting lied to for essentially 20 plus years. And they tried to continue lying to people. But it's a beautiful time to be alive. We're in the age of the internet. And they couldn't pull it off. So what did they do right after the election? Blamed Russia. And what did CNN's news ratings go? They went up and up and up and up because they've literally imprisoned people's minds. And people say, not only this, that, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. My whole message to my audience, to the world, is free your mind, free your soul, free your body, free yourself from this mental slavery that they try to keep you in. I don't care what race, religion, or gender you are. If you free yourself from the mental slavery that these news sources like CNN and MSNBC and Washington Post and New York Times try to box your mind in, you can do anything. You can make money, you can have a career, you can be a good person and survive and eat good food and meet good people. It's all available. America's a beautiful place amongst all the craziness. My grandparents worked in factories, and here I am broadcasting to the world. It's a beautiful time to be alive. The real prison is the mental prison that they put people in. They put people in a mental prison to then lead them to real prison, to lead them to being angry, to lead them to voting for their party because they just want everybody to be hateful and negative and nasty because it boosts their ratings. Every time I watch CNN, it's like, the rich are building bomb shelters. Ah, everybody's gonna die. So you're like, oh my God, I gotta watch this because I'm scared. They've been doing this for 15 plus years. CNN is fake news. Washington Post is fake news. New York Times is fake news. Look who owns them. It's not a conspiracy. It's not hidden. It's right in front of your face. And luckily, we have a president who's calling them out. And James O'Keefe did journalism research. I might have to make a full video for this because Google Project Veritas CNN. Check it out, James O'Keefe. It's the #1 trending story on YouTube. It's the supervising producer of CNN admitting that their whole Russia coverage is bullshit. I mean, I've told you since October of 2016, and people get mad at me. They call me a shill, a right-wing shill. I'm not getting any money from Trump. I'm not getting any money from Putin. That's a dumb, fake thing that these fake news sources put in your head to disagree with anybody. It's like, that's what they've convinced. They've got people in mental prison. So anytime logic, facts, or reality come into play, oh, it's Russia. Oh, you must be working for the Kremlin because Rachel Maddow told me you're Kremlin now. No, Rachel Maddow's a liar. Oh, well, you must be a right-wing conspiracy theorist shill because, Megyn Kelly told me and CNN told me. No, Megyn Kelly's lying to you and CNN is lying to you. That's not my fault. I can't control how honest they are, but what I can control is doing better than them and becoming bigger than them. So if they don't change their way, I'll take their network in 5 years or 10 years. I'll be patient. I'll live my life. I'll live off the land, live off the water, and I'll just overtake their network in 10 years if they want to lie to their people. I'll take the heat for now, but it's not going to last very long because you can't literally push a Russia conspiracy for a whole year, leave out big details like, hey, maybe Trump had a phone call with Russia, maybe the Russian dossier peed on him, maybe he got peed on. All fake stories. Meanwhile, John Podesta and Hillary Clinton sold a large portion of the United States uranium to Russia Could you imagine if Donald Trump sold uranium to Russia? Could you imagine? He would be impeached tomorrow. But the real criminals, they get protected by these news networks like CNN. You'll never know about the real stuff. You'll never know about all of the children that are getting snatched up from Haiti and the United States. Hundreds of thousands of kids are getting snatched up in the United States. Child trafficking is a real thing. There's sick, disgusting people who are snatching up 2- and 3-year-olds and raping them. It's disgusting. It's terrible. Those are the real criminals. We're not talking about, oh, I got drunk and, maybe she gave up consent by mistake. No, they're raping kids. This is happening. But the liberals don't care. The social justice warriors couldn't seem to care less because they're being lied to by CNN, Washington Post, New York Times, MSNBC, Politico, Vox, pretty much at Twitter News, Apple News, Facebook News. I don't mean to go against the grain because I would love to just swim through life and, agree with everybody because I'm a very chill person, but they're all lying. I didn't ask them to lie, but nearly all of the news sources are completely slanted, and they keep losing because the truth will come out eventually. Literally, Project Veritas, the CNN producer, admitting the Russia story's bullshit. We're just doing it for ratings. I mean, I'm not saying this anymore. I've told you this for a year. You didn't believe me. You got mad at me. And I'm like, you're a sellout now. Whoa, you're not saying what I want you to say. You don't have to listen to me say it anymore because you could listen to CNN's own people admit to your face, you've been getting lied to. You can't make this stuff up. I didn't ask for this to be this way. I didn't ask for them to give us Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. I didn't ask for Donald Trump to be president. I didn't even know this was a possibility a year ago, but it happened, and I'm just calling it like I see it. The truth is the truth about the border, about refugees, about United States, about prosperity, about freedom, about gun control, about fake news. I mean, the truth is the truth. I could care less what it falls under. If it falls under liberal, great. Congratulations. Congratulations, liberals. You're right about something. If it falls under conservatives, cool, great. Who cares? Congratulations, conservatives. You're right about something. I could care less. To me, these are just stupid titles to divide people. Because when the truth comes, now you have conservatives and a lot of people that were, maybe a little more closed-minded and stubborn. They're the open-minded ones. And now you try to talk to somebody from the left side. At me being a free thinker, I talk to everybody. Now the left side gives you more trouble, like they believe the news is perfect, the news never makes mistakes, even though the news will tell you to your face, Project Veritas, that they're lying to you. They'll be like, well, no. I hear what you're saying. I hear the logic, facts, and reality, but, I mean, grab them by the pussy, though. It's like, come on, wasn't that like, well, I mean, come on. He's grabbing women by the pussy. I mean, there's a lot of Kremlin people, I mean, you're a right-wing shill now, Anomaly. I mean, you must be getting paid by the Kremlin because the truth isn't what CNN told me it was. It wasn't what Bernie Sanders told me it was. I mean, Huffington Post politics does not talk like you talk, Anomaly, and I just don't know how to handle it. That's not my fault. I don't ask Huffington Post politics to lie. I wish they would tell the truth. I didn't ask Bernie Sanders to lie. I voted for him against Hillary Clinton. I didn't ask him to lie. I didn't ask them to lie. Don't get mad at me. I don't make these things up. I don't sit here. You think it's fun for me? It would be a lot easier for me to play my Bernie Sanders trap anthem song, which still gets a lot of plays on Spotify and Apple Music. It'd be a lot easier for me to play the Bernie Sanders trap anthem song and appeal to environmentalists and social justice warriors and liberals and progressives. That would be easy for me. That would be a piece of cake. This is hard. Telling the truth is hard. Standing up against people that don't want to hear the truth, that's hard. I don't do it for attention or popularity or money. I get less of all of those things by doing it. It's harder to do what I do, but I don't care. I'm not doing it for any of those reasons. I'm following my soul, my heart, my mind, and the truth, and I'm having a great time doing it. Don't kill my vibe, as Kendrick Lamar, the late great Kendrick Lamar would say. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. It is what it is. Very big bombshell. I would love to see a lot of the news sources covering it. Project Veritas, James O'Keefe. Video footage. Audio and video footage. It's not debatable. It's not a memo that somebody wrote because they knew they were going to get fired for doing a bad job. It's not a fake news story that someone went to Washington Post and said, hey, you create this fake news story and then New York Times will report. That's what they do. If people haven't noticed, I've been talking about it for a year. It's not fun for me to do, but it's the truth. Someone creates a fake story, New York Times, Washington Post, usually one of those two, they create the fake story. And then everybody reports on it. CNN will report on it. you know, if it's New York Times, the Washington Post reports on it. It's like a circle jerk of liars, of propagandist liars, and they keep losing. I mean, how long do they think they could Nazi-era propaganda people into believing all sorts of lies? They've been pushing this Russia conspiracy for money, for an agenda, and their producer literally just looked at the camera and said, it's complete bullshit. We're just doing it for ratings. He's like, everybody knows. I mean, there's like pretty much nothing there. Literally, the guy, Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, Google it. He says to the camera, he says, you know what, to be honest, the president's right. It totally is a witch hunt. I mean, we've been pushing it for a year and like, we got nothing. We got nothing. I mean, it's obvious. Hillary and Podesta sold the United States uranium to Russia. And I'm not here to complain about that. I know the way the world works. I'm not dumb. I know that China hacks us. I know that Obama's administration spied on Angela Merkel in Congress. I'm not complaining about Hillary and Podesta selling uranium one, but all I ask is to not play along with all this dumb like a year later, like, I think he might have had a phone call. Like, when there's clear-cut evidence that the past administration was selling uranium to them, you think it's a bombshell that after a year that James Comey wrote a little memo on a paper like, I'm a bad FBI director. I'm going to get fired, so let me write this memo. That's not a bombshell. A bombshell is selling the United States uranium to Russia. A bombshell is not, CNN said Washington Post confirmed they hacked the utility grid. The utility grid in Vermont's been hacked. Oh, wait, no, that was a fake story. Fake story. CNN last week, they had to retract a big story about Russia and one of Trump's cabinet members because it was a fake story. And people are getting sick of their fake stories. One of them, I believe it was the Washington Post, created one of the biggest fake stories of the year. He said, oh my God, there's been hundreds of Kremlin news sources. You know, the U.S. is being infiltrated by Russian. And in their Kremlin news sources, they were linking just anybody who didn't agree with them. It wasn't people working for Russia. It was like InfoWars, Breitbart, even the Young Turks, progressive people, left and right. They just think everybody who doesn't believe them is Russian now. And they don't do it because it's fun. They don't do it because they think it's right. The producer of CNN literally just admitted on camera they're doing it for money. They're doing it for ratings. Money and ratings. They're lying to you for money. They're lying to you for ratings. They think it's hilarious. They're like, behind all the cameras, everybody knows Trump's right. They know he's right about all of it. Bernie Sanders, behind his tweets, he's probably like talking to Jane Sanders like, I mean, this guy Trump, he's the real deal. I mean, he's calling out CNN, he's calling out MSNBC, he's calling out Washington Post. They really treated me bad, but, you know, I'm too big of a coward to do it. And then you have literally CNN producers, as soon as the cameras close, all right, back to the Russia conspiracy. We're going to pretend like nobody's getting spied on and Russia's doing this. They turn off the cameras, like, man, what a dishonest segment that was. President Trump's right. It's a smoking gun. It really is a witch hunt, but let's just keep broadcasting it to millions of people because the ratings are the ratings, you know. They're using you. People like George Soros, CNN, Hillary Clinton, there's a war on for your minds. InfoWars says it. Even if you don't agree with a lot of things that they say, it's been the truth for a long time. It's in documents. There's published documents. It's not a conspiracy theory. There's always a war on for your mind. That's what the world is. They want to sell you this. They want to sell you that. They want women they want to make you feel like nothing's ever good enough so they can sell you makeup, so they can sell you extensions and all sorts of, you know, artificial stuff. They want you to believe you need that car, you need this medicine, you're sick, you're hungry, you're this, you're that. The whole world is a sale. The whole world is a business. There's always a war on for your mind. It's not a conspiracy. It's just a fact. That's the way the world works. There's a war on for your mind. And I want you to remember, life is beautiful. You're beautiful. It's a good day. It's a good week. It's a good month. It's a good year. Your potential is unlimited. Life is incredible. You can do anything at any time. You can make a change in your life. It's never too late. You're never too old. You can do whatever you want. It's a beautiful time to be alive. So that's what I want to tell you. That's what I want to fill your mind with, is good thoughts, good energy, good people, and the truth, which is we're amazing creatures that can really accomplish a lot when we put our minds to it. But the news, like CNN, admittedly, they just lie to you for ratings. They sell you bad products. They sell you lawyers and pills. I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm not saying it for any reason. I'm not a shill. I just care about you. I'm sorry. I didn't know being like a semi-decent person was a crime in this country. And I didn't know being a semi-decent person was Russian or right-wing or conservative, because I'm none of the sort. I just want you to live a good life. So tune out these news sources who are clearly lying to you, and we need our best people from all sides. We need our liberals. We need our conservatives. We don't need to be fighting. That's what we don't need to be doing. We have good people on all sides, but there's a lot of lies going on. Once the lies settle out, I believe we'll realize that progressives and conservatives are really not that different. Democrats and Republicans are really not that different. Everybody is the same. All cultures, you travel to other countries, you realize, yes, there's some little differences. Maybe they're nicer, maybe they're meaner, maybe their air is cleaner, maybe their air is dirtier. But overall, we're all not that different. The only thing separating us is all these labels they create and a lot of these lies that they make. You know, half the country thinks this needs to happen or else everybody's going to die. Half the country thinks this is going to happen, everything's going to die. It's just not the truth. To sum it up, Project Veritas is the #1 trending video in the world right now. Why wouldn't it be? Because the CNN producer admitted that the Russia story is bullshit. He admitted that Hillary Clinton lost because she didn't know how to play the game. He admitted that Donald Trump's correct when he calls it a smoking gun and a witch hunt, because it is all of the sort. If you know anything about foreign policy, if you know anything about America, if you know anything about politics, you would know that it's been a witch hunt from the beginning, because there's been more foreign intervention in everything. The United States is sold out already to foreign countries and corporations. You can't make this stuff up. I can't believe that it took this long, but hopefully this Project Veritas investigative journalism that James O'Keefe at Project Veritas did has an impact, because isn't it getting a little tiring talking about Russia for a whole year and you have the #1 culprit news source admitting that it's a bullshit story? I mean, come on, and pay attention. Here's a little game that you can play. Pay attention to what news sources report this, and pay attention to what news sources sweep this under the rug, what news sources don't cover this, what news sources discredit James O'Keefe. And real quick, just to give you guys a little more insight on what's going on, when James O'Keefe did the underground research about the Democratic Party operatives, Bob Creamer and Scott Fogle, I believe their names were, one of which, I believe Bob Creamer was in the White House like over 100 times or something, pretty crazy. And they were the ones paying mentally ill people to start violence at Trump rallies. What's a worse crime than that? Paying mentally ill people to make fake crimes so you could film it and lie and divide people. I mean, that's one of the worst crimes I could think of. James O'Keefe is getting sued for $1 million by Bob Creamer for doing that. So once again, in this country, I think we need to protect people like Julian Assange and work with people like Edward Snowden and people like James O'Keefe, because they're exposing corruption. They're exposing the foulest of crimes. And what do we do? What do we do in this country when people expose crimes that will save lives and bring people together? They get in trouble. They get sued. They get extradited and blocked out of the United States. We need to be working and loving Edward Snowden. We need to be working and loving Julian Assange. And we need to be working with and loving James O'Keefe, because what they're doing is very brave. They're putting their lives on the line, not to divide people, not to lie to people, to tell people the truth and to bring people together, because the things that have been dividing us are literally fake stories that have been created to literally divide people and make money off ratings. They don't care about your life, whether you're liberal, Democrat, progressive, conservative. They don't care about your life. They just want to make money. Same with the medicine companies. They don't care how healthy you are. It's actually in their best interest for you not to be healthy, because then they make more money. It's the same thing with CNN. If you're mentally healthy, you won't watch their network. If you're not mentally healthy, if they control your mind and you're in this state of fear and anxiety and depression, that's more money for them. Me, I just take, free donations. If you like what I'm saying, please donate below, but I don't care. I have 100,000 as much money as CNN and MSNBC. I don't care, because my life is good and that's all I need. And if more comes, that's fine. If less comes, I'll make it work. But these people just make tens of hundreds of millions of dollars and just waste it. And they don't sell you good things. They don't give back to their communities. I mean, it's the lowest of the lowest, the worst of the worst. But it's the greatest time to be alive. Here we are, live streaming. James O'Keefe doing incredible things. The #1 trending story on YouTube. Very big deal. I mean, this is like the 30th time that between CNN, New York Times, and Washington Post, they've been caught with fake stories. I don't know how much more obvious it could get, but we'll see what happens. I'll be back later. Maybe I'll make a real comprehensive video of this. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if this camera is better quality. I got the iPhone 7. It's supposed to be a way better camera, so if we look a little clearer, you know, we'll keep it going. The back of it's even stronger, so when I do the big comprehensive videos, it should be sleek and supreme. Maybe I'll get a backdrop, maybe I'll get a picture, maybe I won't. Who cares? Then it'll be funny to be like, man, Anomaly got 5 million more views and he doesn't even have any pictures on the wall. I don't know. We'll set more records. Thank you guys so much for joining. You're a part of the movement. It's all possible because of you, not just the donations, but the likes, the shares, the comments, the messages. It's truly powerful. The world is like a web, and when people follow my page and they show me some of the people, some of their friends that are following, it's pretty crazy. Very big stuff happening very quickly. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day, and don't listen to fake news.